Good evening, everybody. How's it going? 2 cents better to be wearing his Drua kit. He does not have the Drua kit yet. Unfortunately, I am drinking Fiji Gold, though. I have Fijian beer in lieu of a Fijian rugby kit. That feels good. Good evening, everybody. Historic first game for the Drua. You'll never see them play their first game ever again. This is the only time you'll see it, so hopefully it's a good one. God damn it. Elliot is here, man. Shouldn't you be working? It's a Friday in the UK. Mark says, New South Wales best state up the blues. The real one's not this fake one's from Auckland or Cardiff. Darren Woody says, excited to see how the Drua go against the Tahs. Absolutely, man. Both teams kind of new in their own regard, eh? Tahs with a new coach. Jamie's in Wales. Good morning, man. Mark says, Bulla. Bulla, mate. Vinaka. Zach says, a fancy new setup? Yeah, well, what can I say? I switched to a different streamer, so might as well, eh? Ellen's not missing the Tahs. Good, man. Proper loyal man. Plus, you got your man. Jamie Roberts on the bench. Nov Mum, it is a new setup. I've been using it for the Six Nations, but this is a new one for the old Super Rugby. I didn't use any official. I didn't use Super Rugby in the title. I didn't use the official logo because I was worried about Super Rugby's agents giving me a copyright strike, so I'm being a bit conservative. Thomas is in France. Cloudy day. It is, it's pretty muggy over here. The cold beer is going down well, trust me. Zach says, when you're stuck home due to COVID, every rugby game is a great rugby game. That is probably a fair call. We're not too far away from this one. Stalio says, have I got a Drua jersey yet? Nah, mate. Not quite yet. It's on my list. I've got a hat, but not a jersey. Baden Kerr's given us kickoff. Once we've got the score time on the screen, I'll let you guys know. 5 seconds now. And we're at 10 seconds. Right about now. There's your time check, folks. JP is here as well to watch the Tahs go down, man. It's all the old... it's a knock on for the Drua. Really? No, back. It's all the old crew. Got Big Will, got Ella, got JP, got Novmum, Starleo, Darramundi. Heaps of, forgive me if I'm forgetting anyone, nice food takeaways. Heaps of the old school people in. Early penalty for the Drua. Good stuff. John is ahead. You're in Europe. And I'm in New Zealand, so I'm significantly closer to the game. But it makes sense, you're ahead. Just seems to be the way it goes, doesn't it? You never know with the old streaming. What channel in the UK, Elliot, mate? It is on a streaming service, I believe. I don't think you'll find it on any of your traditional broadcasters. Rebsy, mate, another one. How's it going? Scooter's in here as well. Scooter. Cheers, man. How's it going, man? Finally, Super Rugby is back. I will drink to that. Fiji, long line out early. Is it free on World Rugby again, Ellen? No, I don't think so. It's only on Sansa Rugby.tv or something. I did a video about it the other day. It's £50 for the season. For the season. My seal says, Bulla bro, Bulla man. I should have got Fijian bitter. I'm drinking some Fijian gold. Watching the Drua. They're doing alright. They've got some nice territory early on. Ah, bugger, I forgot my phone. It's in the other room. Ribsy, hey 2 cents. Rugby been missing. I know it's been a long time for you guys not following the Six Nations one, I'll bet. It feels weird watching Super Rugby, but weird in a good way. Right, scrum time. We're almost 3 minutes in. There's 3 minutes. Tahs are running out of their own half. Here's this new winger. What's his name? Big Will says, Bulla 2 cents. Bulla, man. Vinaka. I only know 2 words in Fijian. And that's Bulla and Vinaka. Cheers, man. Good to see you. How's your missus? She 100% walking around back to normal after a big injury like last year? Year before? Man, she must be back to normal by now. Junaid, mate, I am at 3 minutes and 40 seconds, and that just reminds me I forgot to make people moderators that asked last time. Sugar. James says, thanks for helping me get through a thermodynamics lecture. Bloody hell, man. Well, we're 4 minutes in. It's been a pretty quick start. Some time for the Drua down the Tahs end, and now it's the Tahs turn to have a crack. Like I said, both these teams are kind of new. Tahs got a new coach. He won the MLR last year, so we'll see if he can turn the Tahs around. Tahs had a pretty good preseason, not that that's worth a heck of a lot. She's all good. 2 cents look thirsty. 2 cents is hot. It's very muggy. Cold beer is going down a treat. Maybe it's because I'm drinking from a glass. It just goes down easy. I don't know. Thank God I didn't get the Vailima. That stuff hits me like a ton of bricks. First Moana Pacifica game, we'll get the Vailima. Novmom and her husband had their honeymoon in Fiji. I've never been to Fiji yet. My missus is keen to go. One of these days. Once COVID settles down a bit and my kids grow up a bit. John says, as a Paddy living in Tokyo, I need to find a team to support in Super Rugby Pacific. Any recommendations? Can't get past the Blues, man. The Blues. They will, they'll frustrate you, but it won't be boring. Wasn't Nick Berry riffing game in the Six Nations not long ago, Sinead? He was, man. Yeah, he was. But he's back in Australia now. Back in time for Super Rugby. Craig is along, man. Craig as well. How's it going, Craig? Good to see you as well, man. We've really got the Aussie crew, Aussie-based crew on board now. Can you come to Ireland for some Leinster game, says James. Get some Guinness. Sounds like a plan, man. I need to top up on some beer because that didn't last long. That grass is too small. Too small. If you love disappointment and frustration, the Blues are your team, says JP. Yeah, basically. That's it, man. I'll be back in a sec. Look at the size of this bottle as well. Fucking fudging hell. Fiji Gold. Full flavour. Yes. Full strength, less filling, Fiji Gold. Less calories. 750 mils. Happy days. Donaldson's lining up a shot at goal as I pour a beer. He's nailed it. He has nailed it. See how well I can multitask by talking, watching rugby and pouring a beer at the same time. There we go. I'll update the score in a second to help with the immunity. Cheers, Big Will, man. That's good. Gotta say, honestly, it is humid. This jersey probably ain't helping. Here we go. Waratahs 3-0. Boomfa. Better than 4X, says JP. Pure trash. Still keeping my eye out for the old Great Northern, but it ain't around. But I was only going to get Fiji in for today. Although only one bottle. Elled's got commentary but no screen. How does that work? 7 minutes, lots of deep breaths. Must have missed 7 minutes of high intensity rugby. Your pre-season's never the same, eh? Oh, knock on to the Drua. Tahs get an easy exit if they can scrum and win their ball back. Darren Mooney says, I completely forgot to get some beers before tonight and need some tomorrow. I went on a beer run because I didn't have Fijian beer at home. What can I say? Fiji Gold, exactly. Nice food takeaways. I was tempted to get the Fijian bitter, but something about the gold struck me. Will we have any halftime trivia or Gaza? I don't think the Fijian Gold comes with trivia, and Gaza, I'll have to send him a message if he's watching it, but my phone is not in this room. I'll have to go get it. Salim, man, good evening to you. Good morning where you're at. No long time no see. Tahs with a big ol' up and under. Putting the Fijians under pressure in the air, and they can't take it. It'll be a scrum. No. Offside. Ellard has finally got herself a stream up. Good man. Old man Willie Boy is here. Hey Craig, how's it going? Gale Force, wet and windy Devon. How are we doing? Oh, I'm sweating buckets. Drinking cold beer to try and compensate. Rugby World, going to be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, so far pretty tentative. Weather is horrible in Dublin, hopefully better for tomorrow's game. I haven't decided what games I'm going to watch tomorrow, but I'll see what's on. Tama, man, this is like a family reunion. Everybody's popping in. Bro, the garden's good. I grew sunflowers over the season, eh? They went from little seeds, they grew huge, like taller than me. Like I'm 2 meters, not 2 meters, I'm like 194, so 6'4". And they were towering above me, these big, excuse my language, big bastards. But they've pretty much done their dash now, so I've cut most of them down. Fleshin's popping in as well. How's it, man? Stalio says, watch the Canes live. I think I will tomorrow, man. The Chiefs game's on too early. My kids will still be knocking about, but we could probably lock in the two Crusaders and Chiefs. Tahs putting some pressure on. They're 3 meters out here, but it's terribly slow ball. Parecki. This is going to be a first big test for the Drua. Close range. $1 in this weird jar. Sorry, Ellen, mate. I'll keep it clean. TMO. Sweating buckets, man. Old man, Willie boy. Yes, Craig, it is humid. It's just... I'm not going to be able to keep this shirt tomorrow. I'll have to... Oh, that's going to be a try. He's ducked over the line. Sneaky boy. Sunflowers are great. Have a try growing cone flowers. Cone flowers. Is that like a double entendre or something? Like, because when I think cone, that's not what I'm thinking of. Anyway. Stalio's got to work during the Chiefs game. Super sad. That is a bugger, man. But yeah, it's weird they're putting games on early afternoon. Ella, does the whole comp on Sanzar for you in Europe? Yes, it is. £49 for the entire season was their asking price. I'll update the score in a second, folks. Give me a sec. Right. Good start for the Tahs. Absolutely. It's kind of what they needed, is a bit of a settler, eh? Can you imagine if the Drua had gone ahead? Two cones rugby. Yeah. The 9 got ragdolled, Mark. Yeah, that's what we like to see, isn't it? Yappy. Gonna get ragdolled. Everyone's happy. Anthony, man, 82 cents on everyone. What have you missed so far? Drua had a bit of time down the Tahs end initially, but couldn't really get anything going. And the Tahs have knocked over a penalty and just went through some phases close range. Went over for the first try of the game, so pretty solid start for the Tahs, you'd have to say. Drua have just got line up ball on halfway and got a chance to hit back. Jake Gordon, speaking of 9s, just got smashed, so happy days. Ooh, bit of handbags, and the Tahs are penalised. Craig supporting the Drua. Makes sense. A lot of people don't like the Tahs. Anyone else finding the lights are going up and down for them on the screen? I don't know what that means, but no, looks normal to me so far. Rugby Dad, long time no see. Indeed, man. Cone infections ruining the League One over here. I have caught virtually nothing of the League One, man. But yeah, I have seen there have been some games off. 4 infections with the Steelers. Tokyo get 5 points. That's a weird one as well, because I thought the Japanese COVID situation was actually pretty good going into the season compared to a lot of other places. Baden Kerr's got his first chance to get the first ever points for the Drua. Come on, Baden. Come on, Baden. Nailed it. Straight down the middle. Good stuff. That's a bit of a settler. They needed that. 10 points to 0. At least it's 10 points to 3. Paddy Wagon, been a while, man. Indeed. It has been ages. I didn't do streams for over a month. And then I've been doing the Six Nations recently, but Super Rugby's back. Oh, Big Will's back. Big Will says, bull up for the first points for the draw. Yeah, baby. Who would have thought first points for the draw ever is former Blues legend Baden Kerr. I mean, he's a solid player, but never like the sexiest pick in anyone's fantasy team, right? Coolest thing I've ever seen Baden Kerr do, I think it was him, for Counties Manukau, he knocked over a conversion, but it hit the posts and bounced straight back to him, and he caught it one-handed. It's like gift worthy. But yeah, there we go. As Big Will says, first points to the Drua. Fiji Islander says, let's go Drua. I have to get their jersey at some point, man. Coneflowers are part of the Echinacea family. Black-eyed Susans are a variety that resemble sunflowers, but with a shrub-like plant tama. I honestly did not know that. My mind went to a totally different place. But I can honestly say I've never heard of them. I heard Echinacea, but I'll have to check it out. Too many handling errors, says Fiji Islander. Yeah, that was a bit of pressure on the pass, I think, which was what kind of mucked that up. But yeah, and Stale Leo echoes that sentiment. Scrum penalty as well. A lot of these teething issues, I think, are to be expected, guys. But yeah, we'll see. Drew Wynn's got to get that jersey immediately, says Blind Man. Alright, deal. I haven't seen it for sale here, but obviously I'm sure I can get it online. Do I have the 2015 All Blacks kit? Nah, man, I don't. I should, because that was a legendary team. What's the bonus point rule for this comp? I haven't actually checked, Sinead, mate. I assume that it's the old one of 3 more tries in the opposition, but I wouldn't want to be quoted on that. Well, scrum penalty to the Tahs. Donaldson knocks it over. So the 10-point lead is re-established. Damn, wife's school's been shut due to the weather warning. She's come home. Flashing, does that mean you can't watch the rugby? Bloody hell, must be terrible weather if they're shutting the schools down. Here goes Parise, driven backwards. Looks like using the French bonus point system for 3 more tries in this competition. Yeah, that would be consistent with what we've seen the last couple of seasons. Another penalty for the Tahs, though. Parise is a unit, and we love him for it. Deliberate knock on. Kuravoli with the knock on. The TMO just said well done. Nice. 2 cents. Do you think the Drua have a realistic chance of getting any points by winning, drawing, or losing any of the games? Anthony, mate, if you had to ask me between like the Drua and Moana Pacifica, I would say the Drua have an infinitely better chance. Not just because I think the New Zealand conference is a tougher set of teams to be playing, but also because I think Fiji's always had a heap of talented players, and I don't know, like based on what we saw of them when they had an NRC team and whatnot, they they never failed to disappoint. So I back that to continue, but maybe not necessarily the first game. And Darramundi, I now see what you mean. There's flashing lights. They must be turning the stadium lights up and down to like celebrate. What the hell? Oh, update the score. There was another penalty. Someone asked what beer I'm drinking. This one, in honor of the Drua Fiji Gold. Fleshen's been caught red-handed watching the rugby. There's worse things you could be caught red-handed watching the rugby in the morning. I'm assuming you don't have a drink in hand, given it's still the AM, but I'll never know. Bring back the Waratahs, yeah. They're still around, but only playing in South America, eh? Hey. The Drua need to stop dropping the ball, which is easier said than done, and the scrum needs to settle, eh? Otherwise it could be a pretty long night. Thought Moana Pacifica were basically supposed to pick players from based in Samoa or Tonga. It's basically just an NPC All-Star Pacific team, Adam. That's one of the concerning things, but fingers crossed they will bring in some more. But there's like one guy who comments on the channel sometimes. He said, he's based in Samoa, he said the domestic game in Samoa is bad and it's just not generating the talent. Gordon with a big line break from that scrum. But yeah, he said the domestic game in Samoa is not going to create players based on the club rugby team, which he said is really at a bad level. Dan, we're at 24:30 right about now. Hopefully next couple of seasons, players from the Drua, Moana Pacifica start getting picked up by bigger teams in turn improve their international teams. Fingers crossed. Drua with big turnover. Yeah, that's key because they were under the pump there, mate. Absolutely big wall. Noob says, at least you have a quiet home to watch the game tonight. Kids are in bed. My missus has got a work laptop. I said she could still sit over there, but she's like, nah, she's going to go sit in the bedroom so she can listen to the kids in case I wake them up with my ranting and raving. So, man, what can I say? Life is good. Oh, now the Tahs have been free kicked at line-out time, so it's a chance for the Drua to go. Go, guys. Come on, quick ball. That's too slow. Oh, another bloody knock on. But it's backwards. What's happened to Mare with the Wi-Fi? Get it sorted, man. Oh, yeah, Tahs are offside. Come on, Drua. Try something crazy. No, penalty. What do they do? How's the Fijian beer going down there? It's nice. Yeah, it's really good. There's another beer I sometimes drink. It's a Samoan one called Vailima. That stuff, like I said earlier, just puts me on my ass. Like one bottle of it, and I'm gone. I don't know what it is about it. It's not particularly high strength, but yeah, it's a big bottle. But so far, the Fijian one hasn't done that yet. But I haven't finished it, so anyway, early days. Thank you, Barry. He's clear in the chat. Oh, Big Will, I just thought your stream was ahead, but you spotted it and then he called it. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Vailima is the business. Honestly, it's a good drink. I almost wish I was still smoking to have Vailima and have a cigarette, but alas, I don't smoke anymore. But I feel like that would be satisfying. Don't smoke, it's very bad for you. How long do you think it'll take Moana Pacific and Drua to make an impact? It'll take a while. How many teams have we added to Super Rugby? We added the Cheetahs, the Kings, the Sunwolves, the Hawaras, obviously the Rebels, the Force. Like, how many of these teams even made the playoffs? The Hawaras did it twice, including the final, which was pretty good. The Cheetahs made the quarterfinals once. And I don't think any of the others did much. I don't think the Rebels or the Force ever made the quarterfinals. The Kings certainly never did. Like, a lot of the new teams have struggled for a long time. Hawaras are the only team to actually make an impact. And even them, Zach, they struggled for the first couple of years. They had to keep their kind of core group of players together and just build based on the Argentinian national team almost. So, yeah. Line out steal from the Drua. Come on, guys. You've actually got a bit of momentum at the moment. Let's see. Kings did qualify for a promotion, relegation, and lose. I mean, I like the Kings. They started with a bit of a hiss and a roar. They had a team of kind of rejects and did better than expected, but yeah, over the course they didn't really last the test of time, did they? Alaran, man, yeah, it is all a bit disjointed, but fingers crossed the Fijian team can actually get through like 5 phases, because I don't think they've done that at this point yet, but there's been maybe a tackle in the air there out on the right wing. Ooh, doesn't look good on replay. Gotta let him down, man. Let him down and then tackle him. Didn't King Carlos play for the Kings? He coached the Lions. Don't know if he played for the Kings. I could be wrong. Penalty, relax, Big Will. Yeah, just a penalty. But good chance for the draw, man. Line out, 22. Oh, he's just taking the ball. Come on, guys. Big run. Jeez, they're only 6 meters out. Come on, boys. Quick ball, quick ball. Go. Oh, did he knock that or did he kick it? It looks like he dropped it. That's not going to be a try to bait and cur. That was a knock on. Oh, brutal. Brutal, brutal. But encouraging. He just dropped it clean. It was such a weird drop. I thought maybe he'd kicked it, but nah. Is it humid or what? I don't know, Janae, man. It's humid where I am, so maybe it's humid where they are, even though it's a different country. If only Baden Kerr, the Blues legend, scored the first try, penalty, and conversion, then he would go down in Drua history. Frustrating is right. Fiji Islander. Frustrating is right. But your boys have got a bit of momentum at the moment. They need to get something from it. Fijian Type 5 are a bit sluggish all around. That may be an area that takes a bit to come along, eh? They've got a few internationals, but yeah, we'll have to see. We have aircon, so nice, even our laundry, which is usually the coldest part of the house, is not the hottest. Yeah, I haven't got my aircon on. I probably could put it on, but I'm just toughing it out with cold beer. What can I say? Right, line out time. Stolen. Frustrating. Oh, I know they've conceded a penalty. Ay. Well, at least they've had some chances. It's not like they're camped in their own 22 just making tackles all day long. Like, if they'd been a bit more clinical, they could have easily had points. Maybe they should start taking the kicks, Yeah, maybe, yeah. You feel like they want that try to capitalise on all the pressure, but yeah. Sometimes discretion's the better part of valor. We're already at 32 and a half minutes, so... How many chances? At least a handful, eh? They were within like 5 metres when their lock knocked it on earlier. They had a 5 metre line out then, so frustrating. Geez, sneaky lineup move from the Tahs. Here we go. Ooh. Uh-oh. But how's your father? Tempers are flaring. Nothing really doing. Is Ella the only one who wants the Tahs to win? Probably. Everyone wants the new boys to have a good game, man. Yeah, Kurivoli, the halfback, I thought he nicked that, but he's been pinged, I'm not sure. Mertens reckons he lost his feet. Not a bad crowd, says Jack. Yeah. Is there any COVID restrictions in Australia at the moment? Like, what's the deal? Like, New Zealand, we can't even have 100 people at the moment. Dave, mate, we are 33 minutes, 25, sorry, 30, did I say 33? 33 and a half minutes in. So there's like 6.5 to go in the first half. Right, here we go. Tahs line out, their turn 5 metres out. Drua don't contest it. They're setting for the maul. Now, maul time is often the difference between the kind of big teams and the new teams, eh? Might be that way, and it is. Try time. Generally speaking, some density limits, masks, QR checks, but that's most of it. Okay, I think that's where New Zealand's heading, but we're still a wee bit behind you guys. We're still very much early on the upward trend. Like it was like 200 cases, 400 cases, 800 cases. It was over 1,000 the other day. It's 1,500 or 1,800 or something today. So we're still tracking. What was my pick? Elaran, I picked the Tahs. I think I picked a single digit win. So, not looking too smart. Sinead wants Crusaders. Blues at Eden Park. I would take that as a final. Zach's part of the 1900 today. Oh, bro, are you alright? Hope you're doing good, man. I haven't really been anywhere, eh? Should be over 2,000 tomorrow. You're writing off, Mum. Score is 21-3. I shall update. Well, I didn't even check the conversion. Did he get it or did he miss it? The lady just said it's 23, but the scoreboard says 21. Drink from a glass, Elleron. The bottle's too big, man. It's too big. I'm fine, lucky than some, just a mild cold and self-isolating. Okay, good, man. That's good news. He missed it. Okay, cheers, boys. Your hubby's working from home. My missus is working from home too, eh? So she's loving that. She's loving not having to commute. All Big Will wants is a Drua try. It has to happen, man. Like, I watched the Blues preseason game against... No, Chiefs preseason game against Moana Pacifica. They got a hiding, but at least they got a try. This is already more competitive than that one. You need a brown paper bag for that bottle. Yeah, pretty much. Hey, drew a penalty. Come on, one chance before half time. You got 3 minutes left. Who are the capped players in the Drua 23? The halfback's capped. The reserve hooker is capped. I think the reserve tighthead, Solo, is capped. The number 8's capped, the captain. Those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head. Oh, not straight. Oh, man. Even Nick Berry sounds apologetic. If they can get clinical, man, something can happen. Come on. This half went fast. Nice food takeaways. Yeah, I think that's because we haven't seen Super Rugby in ages. What's your view of Kerr at 10? Seems he was ready to pack it and settle for it into his real estate job. Does he have a real estate job? I didn't know that, Lewis. But honestly, that's the one big issue, like this big struggle for tier 2 teams, is to get a professional level 10 through the ranks. They just don't produce them. The majority, not all, like Georgia doesn't, but a lot of tier 2 teams rely on imported guys at 10. And very few tier 2 teams have homegrown 10s who play in a professional league. You know what I mean? Like the Americans use an Irishman, the Canadians... I think he's English. They're 10. The Uruguayans are an exception. The Samoans and Tongans don't use homegrown guys at 10. It just seems to be a thing. Yeah. Anyway. Hopefully there's going to be someone come through the ranks, but Baden Kerr is definitely a short-term solution, is the longer answer to your question. Kajira Beaver, man, how's it going? And Phoenix, man, how's it? How's it, bro? We're almost at half time. Bring back Gaza. Yeah, I know. I wanted to get Gaz around for a game, but my mum's had to go on shifts where she works Friday now. She used to have Fridays off because she only works 4 days a week. But because they're staggering their shift with the COVID thing, she's on Fridays now, which sucks. Drua looked dangerous given space, but simple mistakes and stupid penalties are killing them. Yeah, I think that's probably a fair assessment of their first half, man. Look at the build of the Fijians and you see why 10s are hard to find. Oh, for the halfback, he's not huge. Phoenix, man, yeah, the fam's good. Cheers, bro. Kids are still at school. My son's school's had a couple of COVID cases, but his class seems to be unaffected thus far. Mrs. working from home. Like I said, Dad's retired, but Mum is working. It just sucks she's got to work Fridays now, so we don't get Gazza here for the rugby. Oh, it's going to be half time. Yep, that's half time. Right. I need to look up the stats at half time, so I think that'll be an interesting read. And I will I will return momentarily, folks. I'll see you in just a second. Right, we're back. Phone in hand, so we can check the stats. Ella wants trivia. Oh, Phoenix man says Gazza retired. Gazza never effing stops working. Glad all is nice, mate. Yeah, Gazza's doing good, bro. He's been retired for a few years actually, but he certainly keeps himself busy. Goes around the neighborhood annoying his neighbors and whatnot. So yeah. Shit, I put a bit much head on that one. Done. Fiji and gold is done, folks. Tragic. But cheers, Phoenix, man. I will give Gazza my regards when I catch up with him, hopefully on Monday. We've had to switch our catch-up days and dinners to Monday. Oh, and Salim, mate. Good game. It is a good game. Thank you, brother. Gazza never stops chatting. Yeah, my dad is kind of known for being something of a chatterbox. That is quite true. Right, what am I looking up? I'm looking up stats. Thank goodness ESPN has the match stats. I was a little bit worried they wouldn't have them, but they do. You know me, guys. I love me some stats. You miss Gazza Elliott. I'll see if I can get him to do a video on like Monday or something. Maybe like a Super Rugby wrap-up or something. No promises, but I'll see if I can remember. Possession 58-42. Territory 51-49. That is in favour of the Tahs. Let's have a look. Turnovers conceded is the killer, folks. Turnovers conceded is 2 by the Tahs, 7 by the Drua. So that's kind of brutal stuff for them. Big Will says, I've missed these live streams 2 cents. So good to be back at the house. Cheers, brother. I have also missed them. It is definitely good to be back. And as I said, I'll have to get Gazza back in. He's keen. Gazza is keen as punch to get back in. But yeah, it's just he can't come on a Friday at the moment because my mum's still working. I guess she could come after work. Not a big deal. JP says, Gazza doesn't bother anyone or even just simply talk to anyone. Gazza blesses everyone with his wisdom. He is the GOAT. I'll have to tell my mum that everything he says is wisdom when he's giving her, excuse my language, shit for not choosing bathroom stuff quick enough because they moved house. She wants to redo the bathroom because they've downsized to a smaller house and she's got cash in hand. She wants a nice bathroom. She told him to shut the F up the other day, which is pretty rare for my mum because she doesn't usually swear. But anyway, cheers, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, Gazza does have the gift of the gab. Right, what else do I want to look at? I wanted to look at some more stats. The line out for the Drua is 6 out of 10, which is not great. Penalties conceded is 8-9, which is actually pretty close, but run meter is 189 to 108. So, yeah, Tahs statistically and on the scoreboard are certainly looking the better of the two. So, yeah, but if they can cut out the errors, get the line out sorted, stop the knock-ons and turnovers and whatnot. Ooh, there goes my book. You never know. You never know. The stadium looks good. I think it's the league stadium, eh? I think it's where the... Isn't it the one where the Eels play? You guys are in New South Wales, have to give me a further update because I know they knocked down Allianz. They haven't finished the new one yet, have they? It's one of the few stadiums I got to go to before it got knocked down anyway. Next week, it's Reds and Tahs. Is it really? I haven't even checked next week's fixtures list. It's a multi-sports arena football as well. Multi-sport arena I think is the way to go in places where you don't want your stadium to be a big white elephant, right? It's the old Parramatta Stadium. It was Bank West, now it's CommBank, you think. Okay, fair enough. They're knocking down Allianz. I think they knocked it down already. That's why the Tahs, like the last couple of years, have kind of been like a nomad team. They've been switching home ground every other week, right? Like they went to... Played one at Manly, they play in West Sydney, like they play all over the shop. Lake Show is overall excited to see the Drua included in Super Rugby. Absolutely. Man, there's heaps of depth in Fiji. How many countries have got Fijian guys, like, actually born and raised, or at least partially, born and initially raised in Fiji guys playing for them? Quite a few, right? So, yeah. Fiji's got loads of talent. I feel like Fiji gets lumped in with Tonga and Samoa a lot, but Fiji's, I think, pretty massive compared to... I've never been to any of them, but I think even just like by population, by GDP and whatnot, like Fiji's a lot... Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Fiji's quite a lot bigger, so it's maybe to be expected. But yeah, they do seem to just have loads and loads of talent. I don't think the Drua is able to play home games yet, Elaran, but we'll kind of have to wait and see. I don't think it's been ruled out. I did think one game on the cards was scheduled to be in Fiji, but who knows? What's happening with Moana Pacific and Mighty Blues? Yeah, they reckon postponed, Big Will, but when? When they can play it? Like... Can't just find an extra weekend. I don't know. They made us end up cancelling it, but we'll see. It sucks because the initial game was going to be at Mount Smart. I was definitely going to go. Like, Mount Smart's not that far from me. I could go to Mount Smart. But yeah, it's It's not going to happen. So, but hopefully I can still get to the game at Mount Smart for their first ever game whenever they do play it. Like first ever game with a crowd. Against the Highlanders, I think it's Suva. Right, James. Hopefully they can get it done. But any kind of travel right now, that's tough to say, isn't it? Mount Smart opening match, Roger to Vasashek. Yeah, Zach, man, that was going to be legendary, right? But that guy's switch to rugby has been so broken, hasn't it? Like RTS, Roger Tui Vasashek, former New Zealand Warrior and league legend, Kiwis, decides to quit league, join rugby. They're like, okay, cool, we can get him to play Mitre 10 Cup first to kind of ease him into it so we don't drop him in the deep end of Super Rugby. Next minute, COVID cases in Auckland. Auckland's Mitre 10 Cup season's over. Okay. Well, at least we give him the off-season to kind of practice with the squad and he gets things sorted. So we'll start him for the Blues against Moana Pacifica, familiar ground, Mount Smart Stadium. Nah. Postponed, COVID. So, just one of those things. Yep. One of those things. What's wrong with his ears, Darren Moody? What's wrong with his ears? He's a former rugby player. He's got a bit of ear action going on. Simon points out that the multi-sport stadiums for the wrong shape are a disaster. Yeah, that's true. Watching rugby down in Wellington is not the best because you're very far from the action because that stadium's an oval, which is probably great for Aussie rules or cricket, but less good for sports which are played on a rectangular field because all that extra space means you're just all that further distance from the ground. That's why Hamilton's great because it's a rectangle. So, yeah. Maybe a midweek game to get that postponed game back. Yeah, it just makes it hard though. Like, if you play a midweek game, then you've still got to back up the next week. Like on a short turnaround, it's going to be hard. Where to watch this game in New Zealand? It's on Sky. On Sky Sport. There's a bushfire down the road from Alaran. Crazy amount of them here this year. Fortunately, the southerly, so I can watch the game without too much stress. Bro, that's mental. I have no idea. I'm in freaking West Auckland, so bushfires are about as far from my life as it gets. Curse the virus, blind man. That's putting it freaking mildly, eh? Yep. Smash the like button, says Phoenix. Yeah, can I actually see the likes on this one since I changed like streams? Stream settings? No, I don't think I can. Can't see likes. I can see viewers, but I can't see likes. Hope we see Jamie Roberts, man. Big Will, we need to see that big fella. We need to see him out on the field, that's for sure. Hopefully more than just for like 5 minutes. Sky Stadium is the dirt worst unless it's for 2020 cricket, says Starleo. Yeah, it's just the wrong shape. Like, I remember I went there for the Bulls Hurricanes quarterfinal a couple of years ago. And, yeah, I bought a sideline ticket and I was like pumped. And I was so far from the game. It was amazing. Yeah, what can I say? Jules is back home from work. The Drua Jules, they're down 21-3, but they've been pretty guilty of handling errors and not being able to keep their own line-out ball. So they're kind of playing like a team who's playing their first game of professional rugby ever. So, yeah, I think there's some potential there for sure. Hope your day at work was good. And good, man. Phoenix, the likes are jumping up. YouTube loves likes and engagements and comments and all that jazz, so happy days. Yes, it is halftime, KT. It is halftime. We've probably still got 5 minutes or so to go before the half is done. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. He's only been out there a month. This is talking about Jamie Roberts as Ellard, so doubt he'll get much game time. You're probably right, but I just want to see the big unit of a man that's Jamie Roberts, the man who's the face of Warren Ball, getting out there to make some people's lives miserable. Aileron, man, I have to get myself some wine. I do have some wine, but I probably won't drink it today. I'll stick to beer. Here's to a new season of Super Rugby. I do hope my Chiefs turn up and Getz stays out of the coaching box. Here's to Getz sticking to Director of Rugby work, mate. Cheers, man. Good to see you. Stay safe with those freaking fires. But, yeah. I reckon Chiefs look in the business based on preseason anyway, which doesn't mean a lot, but there we go. So that's what it is. Sinead, are tickets for other stadiums in New Zealand as expensive as Eden Park? They're all pretty much the same. Not much difference. Not much difference. All Blacks games more expensive than Super Rugby games, but each stadium's kind of much of a muchness. Teams are coming back out onto the paddock. How fit are the Drua? We will have to wait and see. Alan says, I met him in Cardiff. He was the only person you've gone, Jesus Christ. Jamie Roberts is a big human. I feel like if you met Jamie Roberts, you'd be kind of awestruck just because he's a unit of a man. Like, when I saw Kevin Mealamu walk past me once into a bar, I was a lot taller than him, but bro, he was just, he was a tank. Ooh, Tahs have won their restart, so the Drua are going to be under pressure early. Hurricanes beat Satyrs in preseason. Yeah, my dad was just saying that the Crusaders rested a bunch of big guns for that one, so he's telling me not to read too much into it. I didn't see that one. Tahs have got some good front football. That's going to be a try. Lalakai Fuketi. What a way to start the second half. 54 seconds in and Fuketi is across the whitewash. That's all from the Tahs winning their own restart ball. That's a pretty soft one from the Drua. Man, Big Will played with Kevin Mealamu. I know that's true because you've actually spelled Kevin the way he spells it. Where did you play with Kevin Mealamu? I don't remember that. It's going to be 50 plus. Says Kegs. Yeah, you might be right, man. Scrum, restart, maul. These are kind of all the areas that are kind of costly. My Sky probably a bit delayed, man. Yeah, because I'm on this Sky Sport now, which is slower than watching on TV, and then YouTube adds about another 10 seconds on, so I'm probably behind. I'll fast forward just to double check if I am live. I might have been back a little bit. It did jump forward. 6'4" staggering up to mighty Tahs. Are you talking about Jamie Roberts? That's a big man. I need to update the score. It's 26-3. Missed the conversion. I'm at 43 minutes, so I'm definitely behind you, Nate, mate. fitness is going to play a part. Yes. Come on, the Drua have got the ball in Tahs territory. Come on, boys. Get some support there. It's got to get out of there. That's slow ball, yeah. And the referee rewards the Drua with a penalty. Come on. Oh, Kurivoli just couldn't. He couldn't retain it. Surely there's a knock on, ref. No? Alan says of Jamie Roberts, he's 6'4", speaks 3 languages, is a qualified doctor as well as a professional rugby player. What's not to want? And you forgot to mention he's got the chin or the jaw to end all jaws. Right, we're having a look to see if the Drua have maybe scored. It looked messy. I don't think so. Fliction says, oops, there goes the neighbour's kids' trampoline down their garden. Bloody hell, those things can be dangerous, man. There looked like a knock on there. I'm surprised he didn't call that live. Must be a knock on, says Aileron. I thought so as well. There's going to be a yellow card. Early tackle as well, eh? I don't think he had actually caught the ball. Big Kevin went to Aurora College with me, 15 times better than me and the coach. Oh, I think you might have mentioned that once, eh? Aurora College, damn. That's back in the, well, not back in the day, back in the day for me. Oh, the Drua are going to get a card for that tip. He's trying to clean him out and he just tips him on his head. Damn. That's gone from a potential Drua scoring opportunity to a Drua yellow, which sucks. Yeah, the commentary team's gone on about how they shouldn't have even got to that point. I think they're right. There was either a knock-on or an early tackle well before that happened, so the game shouldn't have even been playing. Hit them with a suplex, Stalio. Yeah, that's a bit of WWE right there. Brain fart. Yeah. Watch Super Rugby in the US is $30 a month, David. I know, man. I know. Flow Rugby is an affiliate of the channel, but yeah, no, they're pretty pricey. I pay about the same, but I think I get a lot more sports if I wanted to use it. South Africa Six Nations situation. If you haven't seen the news, guys, there's a report out saying that South Africa is going to replace Italy in the Six Nations from 2025. I wouldn't want to see it happen personally. Selfishly, I like seeing the All Blacks and the Springboks take on each other every year. I like the whole North-South rivalry thing. It's like South Africa is our rival, but they're also kind of on our team down here. Alright, so that's kind of one of the things about World Cups, where you get to see these teams come together, or like tours at the end of the year. I mean, the only benefit from a selfish point of view is I can see that that would mean eventually South Africa would have to tour New Zealand or we would have to tour South Africa. Like back in the day, that would be kind of cool. But it's going to absolutely gut Italy if they did replace them. Italy would be destroyed, surely. How are they going to get on without the Six Nations? Yeah. $30 a month in Australia too. I think the thing is you get a fair bit. Like I think in America they only get rugby, and it's like Curry Cup and Super Rugby. That's it. I get like at least all the rugby pretty much I could want to watch. Tahs have been pinged at scrum time, so that's a bit of good news for the Drua. They needed that. Italy offers nothing though. Yeah, I'm a fatalistic optimist in that I still think they can get it right, eh? Like, there's been times when Ireland have not been good and Scotland have not been good. I don't think any of them's quite been as bad as I don't think any of them's been quite as bad as Italy. But like, I'm sitting here as a Blues fan who watched my team literally go on like was it 2 maybe 3 year losing run against other Kiwi teams. Like sometimes you're in a situation where your team, even if you improve, the other teams are still ahead of you and they're improving at the same time. So if you're improving at the same speed, you're just never getting ahead. It's like really hard to catch up. So I don't know. Like when Super Rugby was getting smaller, you could have argued that the Blues should be disbanded because they can't beat freaking Kiwi teams. So it was seriously a couple of years between beating Kiwi teams. We just can't do it. We couldn't do it. Yeah, man, I'm good to see you. Italy have thrashed all their tier 2 opponents except Uruguay recently. Italy's in that weird position where they're too good to play all the teams below them, but not quite good enough to play the teams above them. So they just need a game like the Japanese do against big teams, and not they need to knock someone over. That's it. This time it's a Tahs penalty at scrub time, but 5 minutes of that yellow card's done. Tahs aren't looking all that flash during it. Italy under 20s beating the last week, so could be potential said. Yeah, it's hard to read too much into under 20s potential because and it's hard to compare, but I've seen a lot of, I've gone back to look at an under 20s team that won something like, I don't know, 5+ years ago, and I look at the under 20s team from then, and I'll recognise like 3 or 4 names. I mean, I'm talking teams like England, New Zealand, and Australia, whatnot. So not necessarily Italy. I'm sure Italy gets a lot more guys convert from under 20s to full Italian. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe less. But anyway, yeah, like I'll look back at like Aaron Cruden's career, checking his under 20s side, which won the under 20s world champs, and like did any of his teammates go on? Like Zach Guilford was in that team. And there was like a couple of other guys who I recognised, but a lot of the guys I didn't even know. So, yeah, it's hard. Like, I don't think that many under 20 guys go on to necessarily be the next big thing, but you never know. I mean, the French under 20s team was killing it for a few years, and look now, we've got a French team full of under 20s champions through various years. So, you can look at it both ways, I guess. Mark says, thing about Six Nations is, and as Stephen said, it's not just the rugby, it's a big cultural event. I mean, South Africa would be a little bit out of place in the Six Nations, right? That's just a fact. They're not a European team. But maybe that gap is closing with the URC teams now being affiliated. Like, I guess South Africa and New Zealand and Australia only got closer because of like Super Rugby. So I don't know. Yeah, this is like the third time we've had handbags in this game, Sinead. It's true. They're trying to stoke up Swinton, I think. But what did Nagusa say to him? What did Swinton say to him? Don't know. Naked Ref reckons it's the halfback instigating everything. Simon says, call me old fashioned, but the Six Nations is a European competition, South Africa doesn't belong on it. I'm kind of old fashioned as well, in that I think, like I said, South Africa's kind of on my team, my Southern Hemisphere team, and we play each other, and then the Six Nations play each other, and then every now and again we get to kind of play each other, and then I get on the South Africans team when they tour north, and I don't know if the Six Nations countries back each other that much, to be fair, because sometimes you guys seem to have a fair bit of animosity. But I think when a Northern Hemisphere team beats the All Blacks, for example, like when France beats the All Blacks last year, other European fans have got to be pretty happy about that, right? Right? Or no? Anyway, back to this game. Advantage for the Tahs. The huge gap. Newsom takes it to the line. Parecki. Tahs are going through some phases. They got quick ball. Oh, too easy. Angus Bell. Tahs looking the business. But it is during the yellow card, remember, for the Drua, but yeah. Italy needs motivation. Changing coaches isn't going to fix anything. Says Blind Man, yeah. Every time they change coach, you think it's going to be something better. I'm still optimistic about Kieran Crowley, but yeah, their last game was a bit average. Can't hate on a prop score in Big Will. Indeed. Gus Bell seems like a pretty nice fellow as well, eh? $33.23. Is this kind of going as expected, folks? I picked it to be a bit closer, I'm going to admit. Fundamentally, the current balance between hemispheres is working fairly well. I think Japan joining the Rugby Championship, there's not much need to change things right now. Yeah, I can kind of feel that. I think we need to get more games and get more involvement from the teams outside the current big boys. By big boys, I mean the Six Nations and Rugby Championship teams. But that doesn't necessarily mean chucking Georgia in the Six Nations. It means, like, I don't know, more games like the Autumn and whatnot, you know what I mean? Like, it can't just be the token one game against the Tier 1 team every now and again. It needs to be semi-regular at least. How did Eddie Jones and Jamie Joseph turn Japan to make them a tier, able to compete with the Tier 1 teams? I think they did a lot of homework. I know Eddie Jones certainly did a ton of homework about the teams he'd be facing. Also, fitness is massive with them. Skills. They've got a game plan which I think gets the most out of the players they've got because they generally don't have very tall locks. Like I did their stats. I did the stats video on them. Well, a lot of teams last year. Like you can see the amount they pass it. They pass it a ton to try and keep the game mobile. So smart coaching basically, plus the talent that's coming through. Plus the top league is getting better anyway. So there has to be a next. There has to be a next Six Nations in Europe having a comp relegate promotions of the Six Nations they'll run. The weird thing about the Six Nations is it's owned by the members and that investment firm. So there's 7 owners and each of the nations is an owner. So for Italy to get kicked out, I don't even know if that's possible. Would the other nations have to buy them out? I don't know. I genuinely don't know how it would work. What if Italy's like, no, we don't want to sell our stake in the Six Nations? Can they force their hand? Again, I don't know. But yeah, it wouldn't be in Italy's best interest to vote for promotion relegation anyway. And the other nations don't want it because Italy, compared to every other nation in Europe, brings in a ton more money, and that's often what it comes down to. So, plus I'm sure a nice away weekend in Rome seems more appealing for a lot of the fat cats than a away weekend in Tbilisi and other places. But there you go. Waffling on about other stuff whilst it's 33-3 after 56 minutes in this game. We desperately need 2 things. We need a Drua try and we need Jamie Roberts to come on. Like Big Will's been saying, where's Jamie? Sinead says to watch up. I'm watching. Come on. Oh no. Jake Gordon's gone. They're not going to catch him. It's getting hairy, folks. Not to take anything away from what the Tahs are doing, but that's, I don't know, this is brutal. It's going to be 40 points. Who's the white guy in the draw? That's Baden Kerr, former Blues, Counties Manukau, and other teams player. Watch the Good, the Bad, and the Rugby podcast and Rumor Speaking so everyone likes them. I haven't seen it yet, but I did see it in my feed. How many 7 stars to this draw? However, they got at least a couple of 7s, guys, I think. I don't remember this Tahs team. Ben Donaldson, he played a wee bit last year, man, alongside Will Harrison, so he's been around. They picked him at the end of last year, and And they were like, this is ridiculous because he's been playing shoot shield. They need to pick some other guy, and then he did really well, so he keeps getting games. Difference between schoolboys and under 20s, yeah, it's a big step, I would say. Stalio hopes this performance means the Tahs are going to be good again. I also hope this means the Tahs are good. Because if the Tahs are rubbish and they're putting 40 points on the Drua, then it means the Drua is terrible. So let's hope this means the Tahs are good. First game for the Drua, I expect Well, I didn't pick it, to be honest. I gave them a bit more credit, but it's not entirely surprising if they get some points put on them, is it? Still 20 minutes to go. Yes, could be pretty hairy. Could be 50, 60 points. Heard John Mitchell has been made assistant coach of Japan. That guy gets around, eh? Head coach of the Lions in Super Rugby. And then he was coach of America for a while. Then England's defence coach. And then he's at Wasps. Who's that Waratah with the massive mustache? The bald guy? I don't actually know who he is. One of the wingers. Tahs' budget will be alright now that they hired a medic and a centre all in one with Jamie Roberts. Yeah, true. And Big Will still wants that Drua try. It's another intercept! Whew, at least they shut this one down. Oh, you're offside, man. Surely. No. No? Okay, Drua get to keep the ball. Still not 100% convinced by the Tahs. Remember when the Blues crushed the Rebels in 2017? People thought they would improve only to not beat a New Zealand team and then lose to the Sunwolves. Man, you're bringing up some pretty painful history right there. Yeah. The Blues had a number of false dawns in their time, it must be said. Carlo Tizzano's coming on. It's good. That guy gets through 1,000,000 tackles. Where is Jamie Roberts? That's the one thing we're all waiting for. Big Will's waiting for it. Allard's waiting for it. Nick has given up on penalising the side entries. Yeah, even I don't comment much on refereeing because my knowledge of the laws is certainly average at best, but yeah, even I'm scratching my head a wee bit. I just want the try, man. The Drua need to get a try. They got 19 minutes to do it. Drua or Moana Pacifica for the spoon. Lewis, I would say Moana Pacifica personally, but I don't know. I don't know the Fijian side anywhere near as much as I know the Drua, Moana side. Where's Big Jamie? I don't know, Flesh, and where's Big Jamie? Free kick for the Drua. Come on, guys. What do? We tap. They're going to call for another scrum. Where can they fit the Blues Pacifica reschedule? Like a review, we're talking about that a bit earlier. I don't know. Someone suggested midweek game, but again, that makes it pretty horrendous for the side because it means you got to play potentially 3 games in 2 weeks, which is brutal. You play like maybe a Friday and then a Wednesday, then a Sunday. I don't know. That's probably the best they can do. Or maybe make it the last game, I suppose, yeah. They might have to do some rejigging. Right, if there's a chance for Moana Pacifica to score, not Moana Pacifica. How much beer have I had? I've only had one bloody bottle. It's a line out for the Drua. deep into Tahs territory. 6 meters out. Come on, guys. Come on. I suppose it is 11:15. I'm probably getting a bit weary. Come on. They've taken the line up. Well, the Tahs didn't contest. The maul has been monstered by the Tahs, but nah. It's gone to ground, but it's available. No, it's turnover. Son of a gun. Brutal. Fiji Drua look like they've had the worst start to any new Super Rugby team so far in the competition's history. Really? Big Will's got his jandal hoisted to throw at the TV. Turnovers conceded as 15-5. Sinead says to watch up. What's going to happen here? The Tahs are in their own... Oh, it's a scrum penalty to the Drua. Second chance. Second chance. Let's do it. Let's do it. He's over! Try time. Come on, Nick. Don't check that. Just give it. Oh, handbags. It's going off. Whoa. Wow, by my count, Nagutha's just scored, right? I don't think it was a double movement because he kind of got shoved over, right? It's short and then gets a chance to place it, and it's one. I don't know. Potential double movement, but I would have thought it didn't look like he. It depends if he propels himself off his knees or not. Yeah, Nick Berry's happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. Are we happy? Let's go. Nice. First try scorer, and it's pretty fitting that it's the captain. Fiji international, former, I think he played for the Falcons and Premiership. Yeah. Try time. Happy days. Yeah, I think everyone's loving that. Except Ellard, who says it's a double movement. Come on, Ellard, you can give him that one. Cats, the worst Super Rugby team ever. They had Andre Pretorius playing for them. The Cats, thank you very much. They were an entertaining team, just not a very good team. And Baden Kerr nails the conversion. The comeback is on, folks. I'm being a bit facetious. At least that's a bit more respectable on the scoreboard. Big Will says, try out of the Drua, baby. And I'm loving it as well. Cheers, man. Finally, eh? Happy days. Big Will's life is now complete. That try was worth staying up for. Not amazing, but historic. There you go. You were there, Junaid, mate, when the Drua scored their first ever try. And they do have great support, nice food takeaways. That is also very true. Actually, the Rebels had the worst start, losing 43-0 to the Tahs. Ooh, okay, well, 30 points at the moment. There's still 14 minutes left, but fingers crossed the Drua can crack on. There you go. They've won another penalty. Launch upfield. Make it 17-40. Ooh, Jamie Roberts. Jamie Roberts! Now your life is complete, Big Will. There you go. He's finally on. He's in Tahs colours. It doesn't quite look right in the sky blue. I've seen him in Wales and Lions colours. I've seen him in the Dragons colours of late. But, yeah. Big man is indeed on. Look at that jaw. Look at that chin. That thing's coming towards you at a rate of knots. You don't want to be in the way. I'm only being silly. He's a proper player. He's a, like someone else said, a professional rugby player, 6'4", qualified medical doctor. Like, he's just the miracle man who can do bloody everything. At least if he was a fantastic rugby player, but he was dumb as dog something, you know, you could feel life is still a little bit fair. He can't have everything, but he just seems to be a pretty superhuman man. There you go. Oh, yeah, I suppose he played in Cardiff colours. That actually makes a lot of sense. I'm just recently used to seeing him in Dragons colours. Fiji Islander says, the Drua scored a try. You happy? Absolutely, man. At least they got their try in their first game. Where are the Drua playing their home games at, David? Some of the grounds in Australia. I can't remember if it's one set ground or if it's multiple. $10 for every Drua try from here. Let's go, Drua! Big Will's feeling generous. His missus must be out the house. Did you manage to get her behind the Reds yet, or is she still into her Broncos? Imagine waking up for an operation and James's faces is the first you see. Oh, Jesus. $11 minutes to go. Tahs maybe just want to kind of settle this down, because that try seems to have given the Drua guys a bit of, I don't know, a bit of extra kind of spring in their step. Kerr's touch finder is a bit of a stinker, but wrong foot, so yeah. Alan says, official coverage through the website is a shambles. How so, mate? What's going on? I know it's their new service. What's going on with it? Reds Vintage or Tongan Invitational? What does that mean? She's diehard Broncos. I have to question her choices in life, but well, you still haven't got her across the line, eh? My missus is still a work in progress. What can I say? She's still just pretty much a Bowden Barrett and D-Mac fan, and that's about as far as her love of the game goes. Oh, the charity match. Yeah, they're raising money for Tonga. Yeah, I remember. Bro, sorry, total brain fade. I don't know, go Tongan Invitational. I'm really, but is Quaid playing Super Rugby? Junaid, he's still in Japan, so not playing Super Rugby. The bushfire is getting closer, Alaran. Bro, if you gotta go, man. Seriously? I don't know how you monitor that. Do you like check government reports or what? But yeah, far out. That's a bit scary, man. Constant buffering, Ellen. Jeez, that's no good. I will have to mention that in the review and ask if anybody else has the same issues. Maybe they give you a refund. You should ask, because when I used Rugby Pass once for one game, the game was basically the same. Like you said, it was buffering the whole time, and they gave everybody like an extra week on their subscription. Emergency website. Alright, man. Well, fingers crossed. Jeez, what happens if you go to bed? You can't check the freaking website. The Drua mistouch. Hunkered down thanks to a hell of a storm in the UK 2 cent stream. Keep me occupied. No worries, Juice, man. We are going to be here for the next 8.5 minutes until this game is done. It's a long way back for the Drua, but they've at least had the better the momentum for kind of the past 5 or 10 minutes. Am I doing a combined team of the week for this competition? I actually hadn't thought about it. Time-wise, team of the weeks are kind of, if you can excuse my language, kind of a pain in the ass, because I have to look through a lot of extra footage and stats. And then the comments, whilst usually pretty good, sometimes boil down to, you didn't pick the guy I like, you picked that dickhead, he's useless. So they sometimes kind of piss me off. But, yeah, maybe. They're popular videos, so I do like doing teams of the week, as long as people kind of take them lightheartedly, because it's just like, I don't know, people seem to have the attitude that, like, if you say this player's good, that means that player's bad, instead of like, this player was good and this player was also good, but I like this one this week. I don't know. People get funny. It's the internet, what can I say? Craig says, don't leave it to the last minute, Elron, and I would also echo that sentiment, man. Mark says, Fijian players will be having a lot of opportunities playing against professional players. Absolutely. That's fantastic that there's now, like, I don't know how many guys the Drua employ. It must be like 30, 40 guys, players. Like, that's a bunch of guys whose job is now to play rugby, who didn't have that job before, or at least not for a Fijian-based team. They would have been, like, some of them in the MLR. Like, I know the prop Solo, I saw him in the MLR. Like, a bunch of guys are kind of coming together. Can only be good for Fijian rugby. Team of the week, time-consuming thing to do, and all down to point of view in the end. Yeah, absolutely, Alan. You could pick a team solely based on stats. You could pick a team solely based on gut feeling. I try to do it as a bit of a gut feeling mix with some stats and just going back to watch the games. But I'm not right. But I do get annoyed when people just assume they are right without even saying anything. They're just like, this guy was better. Like, okay, why? But I don't know. As I said, I shouldn't worry about it too much. Just do the video and enjoy it. Just checked, it's all good. It's just heavy smoke here. The fires moved north and need the Drua to score 2 tries for Aileron's margin. Oh, what was my margin? I'm pretty sure I picked the Tahs by single digits, but I could be mistaken. Have you ever had a week where the best players are all Kiwis, but you needed to pick an Aussie to seem unbiased? I do like to try and keep it kind of balanced if I can. I try not to just pick token players for the sake of it, but I mean, I'm sure I'm guilty of it subconsciously. I picked the Waratahs by 7, so I am well off the pace. Novman picked Tahs by 14. Even that seems conservative at this point, Novman, but we'll see. This guy's better because he plays for my team. Sean, yeah, basically. Or I like this player. But I mean, nobody's right, nobody's wrong, right? If you want to pick your own team of the week, then do your own team of the week. Everybody's got their right to their 2 cents, so happy days. Fleshton's got to go and nail a fence panel and use the long nails, man, like those freaking what are the name of those? I've got some really long nails that I use for any fencing stuff. It holds them in pretty good. And the, what do you call it? The cladding on my house. It just says, did you ever think you'd have so many subscribers in this platform? Not really, man. Not really. Yeah, I don't know. It certainly grew faster than I thought. Like, it started off pretty slow, so that was kind of where I thought it was going to go, eh? Like, it was days. Sometimes you could go days, no new subscribers, couple of comments. It was a real tight-knit, little tiny community. I mean, it's still pretty small in the scheme of things. Like, YouTube stuff can be massive, but no, it's really good. And I still think the community is pretty tight. Like, honestly, I think for the most part, even though I was just complaining about Team of the Week videos, apart from Team of the Week videos, I think for the most part, the comment sections are usually pretty good, pretty insightful. You learn some stuff, you have some good banter. Whereas if I look on YouTube, on a lot of other channels that I watch, it's just people being pricks and I don't know. Like the YouTube comments and just internet stuff in general can be pretty negative, but nah, I reckon the comment sections on at least this channel are generally pretty good, eh? Sinead says to watch up. Is it going to be a Tahs intercept? Or is it going to be a Drua maul because they're 6 meters out? 5. They got advantage. The maul's going to go over. Held up. Oh, brutal. Exploded in the World Cup, remember it well around. Yeah, this channel kind of tends to go like pretty steady during club rugby, and then any internationals, autumn internationals, and then steady, June internationals, and then steady, Six Nations a bit, you know. Yeah, it just tends to be a thing. But World Cup was, yeah, very busy, very lots of engagement compared to other times, because there's some people who only watch the World Cup. Team of the Week videos must attract casual viewers. Yeah, you're probably right. Oh, they've knocked it on, but back for advantage. Drua absolutely putting on the pressure for the last couple of minutes, folks. It's good to see. Blowman's liking the effort despite their losing big. Yeah, encouraging signs. Like, the Drua will have some definite work-ons after this. It's by no means like they are off the pace so bad that they can't compete. Many more walk-ins videos coming soon. Oh, and mate, yeah, I'm trying to get the walking videos done at the same time. I had knee surgery a couple of weeks ago, which has kind of put paid to my walks, but I'm slowly getting able to walk, like, I don't know, 4,000 steps a day without having to have a lie down. So, yeah, getting better. Getting better. The team for that charity match: George Smith, Brad Thorne, Radiki Samo, Lotta Takiri, Drew Mitchell, Nathan Sharp, James Horwell, Stephen Moore, Jose Gear, Digby Ioane. Holy shit, that's a pretty damn like big name lineup. I don't know what shape these guys are in nowadays, but damn. Still remember the random players you put on the whiteboard at the end of the video to mess with people who skip to the ancient aid. Yeah, I did that a couple of times. That's old school. That's real old school. A few people fall for it, but not many. Less than I thought. Less than I thought. Elanama, I don't need crutches. I can still walk. I can still walk. Like, I just can't walk. After a couple of 100 meters, I'll start to like limp, and then after a couple of 100 meters limping, I'll need to have a wee sit down. But it's getting better. Doing my rehab. Big Will's going to the game. Good man. Not taking your misses, I'm assuming. Hey, Grant Dexter. The original Long Dong man. Rugby. For the next 30 seconds, rugby. Randy, hey, you're late as well. What's going on, man? There's like 15 seconds left. Where you been? Jules, this weekend I also would like to do the Crusaders and Hurricanes match tomorrow, which is on at 7 o'clock New Zealand time, I think. That's the plan. Rodzilla was playing in the Reds game in an 8XL jersey. Goodness gracious me. And, yeah, sorry, Grant, that was an interesting intro. Wait, Taiwan cricket? That's Grant Dexter in disguise. I know you well enough to know that. Oh! Yellow card to the Tahs as the clock goes into the red. Come on, Drua. One more try. One more try. Big Will, man. Cheers, man. It's been a good live stream. Super Rugby's back. It's been good to see all the people, old and new, back online. Drew for one more try, do we reckon? Alice is big. Grant, we missed you. Yes, indeed. Jules, hopefully you don't have to work tomorrow, so you can watch one of the games. Oh, it's going to be another penalty. Nick Berry's going to lose patience. Who am I picking to win it this year? The obvious favourites would be the Crusaders, but I will say Ailerons, Chiefs. It's got to be the Chiefs. The Chiefs are looking the business. Taiwan cricket, that's our man, Mr. Grant. 150 Taiwan dollars, and I can actually see the stickers this time because I'm using this streaming platform. Thank you. Cheers, man. I think that's the end of my Fiji Gold, which is probably good because it was starting to get not cold. Any left? Not really. Blues, Grant reckons. I would like to see it, but the Blues just can't beat the Crusaders. Oh, there's got to be another yellow card here, surely. Folks, come on. There's got to be another yellow. Oh, he's held up. but it's back for the advantage, right? Oh, no, because he tapped it. The advantage was already done. They tapped it. Oh, that's a brutal end. Well, I do think, folks, I think there's encouraging signs there for the draw. I know, like, a 30-point loss is not the ideal way to start, but, bro, how many times did the Drua drop that ball in that first half, especially? But, like, yeah, the way they finished it, they were still pushing at the end. They were strong. The scrum won some penalties. Like, yeah, I think the bench scrummages were actually better than the starters. Maybe a little too much in the way of handbags, but that's just a bit of extra feeling. But yeah, I mean, also encouraging for the Tahs. I don't want to forget about the Tahs because they were freaking terrible last year. But that's a win for them. They couldn't get a win for love nor money last year, but they finally get a win. So there was a bit of pressure on them. But yeah, as Alaran just said, better team from the 60-minute mark. So that's encouraging. So yeah, pretty happy with that, I reckon. Yeah, maybe just rushing it a bit too much, Fiji Islander. So that's going to come with experience, eh? Like, this is the game where emotions are running high. First game, partnerships are still, chemistry still building. So yeah, I reckon it's encouraging. I reckon it could come right, but I'm always an optimist. So yeah, we'll see. We will see. It's starting to piddle down over there as well. Hopefully it gets to Alaran's house as well on the other side of the country, because if they got bushfires, they could certainly use some rain. But anyway, folks, yeah, take care of yourself. Good to see you all. Tomorrow, I think we'll do the Crusaders and the Canes, like I said, because I reckon that could be an absolute cracker. I would do the one prior, but my kids will still be up, so yeah. Yeah, cheers guys, take care, and I'll talk to you guys again for another one